Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Podcast Classroom. My name is your host, and I am so happy you're here today. Whether you're listening while commuting, studying at home, or just relaxing, thank you for choosing to spend this time learning English with me. If this is your first time here, welcome. The English Podcast Classroom is a space created just for you, English learners from all around the world. We talk about practical tips, real strategies, and motivating ideas to help you improve your English step by step. So make sure to subscribe and join our growing community of learners. Today, we're talking about something really important, something that almost every English learner struggles with. And that topic is how to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. Now, let me ask you something. When you want to say something in English, what happens in your mind? Do you think of the sentence in your native language first? Maybe you think in Spanish, Arabic, Chinese, Vietnamese, or any other language. Then you translate it word by word into English, and finally you say it out loud, right? If you do this, you are not alone. Most learners do this. It's completely normal. But here's the thing. Translation slows you down. It makes speaking feel hard and stressful. It blocks your fluency. And today, I'm going to show you how to change that. By the end of this episode, you will understand why translation happens, why it's holding you back, and most importantly, how to train your brain to think directly in English. We'll go through practical techniques, real examples, and even some mini exercises you can try right now. So stay with me. Let's do this together. First, let's talk about why translation happens. Why do we automatically think in our native language before speaking English? The answer is simple. Your brain is used to your native language. You've been speaking it your whole life. It's automatic, it's comfortable, it's fast. So when you need to express an idea, your brain goes to the language it knows best. That's your first language. Then, because you're learning English, your brain tries to convert that idea into English, word by word, sentence by sentence. This process takes time, and that's why there's a delay when you speak. That's why you pause. That's why you feel stuck sometimes. But here's the good news. Your brain can learn to think in English too. Just like a child learns their first language, you can train your brain to skip the translation step and go straight to English. It takes practice, yes, but it is absolutely possible. And I'm going to show you how. Let's talk about why translation is a problem. Why does it slow down your fluency? Imagine you want to say, I'm really tired today. If you translate from your native language, your brain does this. First, you think the sentence in your language. Then you search for each English word. I equals I. Am equals am. Really equals really. Tired equals tired. Today equals today. Then you put them together. Then you check if the grammar is correct. And finally, you say it out loud. Right? If you do this, it's a lot of steps, right? And all of this happens in just a few seconds, but it's exhausting. It uses a lot of mental energy, and it makes speaking feel slow and unnatural. Now, imagine this instead. You feel tired, and immediately your brain thinks, I'm really tired today. No translation, no extra steps, just English, direct and fast. That's what thinking in English feels like, and that's what we want to achieve. Another problem with translation is that languages don't match perfectly. Every language has its own structure, its own expressions, its own way of saying things. So when you translate directly, sometimes the English sounds strange or incorrect. For example, in some languages you might say, I have hunger, but in English we say, I'm hungry. See the difference? When you think in English, you use English naturally. You don't force your native language structure onto English. You speak the way native speakers speak. So our goal today is to help your brain stop translating and start thinking in English automatically. Before we get into techniques, let's understand how your brain actually learns language. Think about how children learn. Babies don't translate. They don't study grammar rules. They don't use dictionaries. So how do they learn? They listen. They observe. They connect words with objects, actions, and feelings. When a baby hears the word dog and sees a dog, the brain connects the word directly with the image. Not with the word dog in another language, just the image, the concept. This is called natural language acquisition. And the amazing thing is, your adult brain can still do this. You can learn English the same way, by connecting English words directly with meanings, images, and experiences, not through translation. So that's the secret. We want to create direct connections in your brain. English word to meaning, not English word to your native language word to meaning. Direct connection. Now let's talk about how to do this. I'm going to give you 7 powerful techniques. These are practical strategies you can use every single day. And I'll give you examples and mini practices along the way. The first technique is to start thinking simple thoughts in English. Very simple. Don't try to think complex ideas right away. Start small. For example, when you wake up in the morning, don't think in your native language. Instead, think in English, I'm awake. That's it. Just 2 words. Simple, right? When you're hungry, think, I'm hungry. When you're happy, think, I'm happy. When you see your phone, think, my phone. These are tiny thoughts, but they're powerful. Why? Because you're training your brain to use English automatically. You're building new pathways, new connections. Let's practice right now. I'll say some simple thoughts, and I want you to repeat them after me. Don't translate, just repeat and visualize. Ready? I'm tired. Again, I'm tired. Good. Next one. I'm ready. Repeat. I'm ready. Excellent. One more. I'm listening. Say it. I'm listening. Perfect. See how simple that is? These are the building blocks. Start using these tiny thoughts every day. In your head, out loud, anytime. The second technique is to connect English words directly with images and feelings, not with translations. Let me explain. When you hear the word apple, what happens in your mind? Do you see the word apple in your language? Or do you see a red, round fruit? If you see the fruit, that's perfect. That's direct connection. But if you see the word in your language first, we need to change that. Here's how. When you learn a new English word, don't write the translation. Instead, find a picture. Look at the image, say the English word while looking at the picture, connect them together. For example, the word excited. Don't think of the translation. Instead, imagine a moment when you felt excited. Maybe before a trip or before a party. Feel that emotion and say, excited. Connect the feeling with the word. Let's try it. I'll say a word and I want you to create a picture or feeling in your mind. Don't translate, just visualize. Rain. Picture rain falling. See the water, hear the sound. Say rain. Next one. Smile. Imagine someone smiling. See their face. Feel the happiness. Say smile. One more. Coffee. Picture a cup of coffee, smell it, see the steam. Say coffee. Great job! This technique works because your brain loves images. Images are universal. They don't need translation. So connect English words with images and feelings, and your brain will remember them faster and use them naturally. The third technique is one of my favorites. It's called self-narration. This means you describe what you're doing throughout your day in English, like you're the narrator of your own life. For example, when you're making breakfast, think in English, I'm making breakfast. I'm boiling water. I'm pouring the water. I'm drinking tea. When you're walking, think, I'm walking to the bus stop. I'm waiting for the bus. The bus is here. You're not translating. You're just describing your actions in real time in simple English. This technique is so powerful because you're practicing constantly. You're using English in real situations, and your brain starts to associate English with your daily life. It becomes natural. Let's practice. I'll describe some actions, and you repeat after me. Imagine you're doing these things. I'm opening the door. Repeat. I'm opening the door. Good. Next. I'm checking my phone. Say it. I'm checking my phone. Excellent. One more. I'm putting on my shoes. Repeat. I'm putting on my shoes. Perfect. Now I want you to try this technique today. Pick one activity, maybe brushing your teeth or making lunch or going for a walk, and narrate it in English. Describe every action, simple sentences, present continuous tense. You're training your brain to think in English automatically. The fourth technique is about your inner voice. We all have an inner voice, right? That voice in your head that thinks, plans, and talks to yourself. Most learners use their native language for this inner dialogue. But if you want to think in English, you need to switch that inner voice to English. I know this sounds difficult, but start small. When you're making a decision, think in English. For example, should I have tea or coffee? I think I'll have coffee. When you're planning your day, think, today I need to go to the supermarket. Then I'll study English. Then I'll call my friend. When something goes wrong, think, oh no, I forgot my keys. Where are they? Ah, here they are. You're having a conversation with yourself, but in English. This is one of the fastest ways to improve because you can practice anytime, anywhere. No one else needs to hear it. It's just you and your brain. Let's practice. I'll give you a situation, and I'll show you what your inner dialogue could sound like. Situation. You're deciding what to wear. Your inner voice says, it's cold today. I need a jacket. Which jacket? The blue one. Okay, blue jacket. Now you try. Imagine you're deciding what to eat for lunch. Think in English. I'm hungry. What should I eat? Maybe pasta. Or a sandwich. Okay, I'll make a sandwich. Good. Start doing this every day. Switch your inner voice to English, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. The fifth technique is a bit different. It's about catching yourself when you translate and stopping it. Here's what you do. When you notice yourself translating from your native language, stop, pause, and ask yourself, how can I say this in simple English? Don't force a perfect translation. Instead, simplify. Use the English words you already know, even if the sentence is very basic. For example, maybe you want to say something complex in your language, but when you try to translate it, you get stuck. You don't know some words. So stop. Simplify. Instead of translating that complex idea, think, what's the simple way to say this? Maybe you say, I want to explain something, but I don't know the words. Let me say it simply. This technique teaches your brain to work with the English you have instead of depending on translation. You become more creative, more flexible, and over time your English improves naturally. Let's practice right now. I'll give you a situation, and I'll show you what your inner dialogue could sound like. Situation. You're deciding what to wear. Your inner voice says, it's cold today. I need a jacket. Which jacket? The blue one. Okay,
blue jacket. Now you try. Imagine you're deciding what to eat for lunch. Think in English. I'm hungry. What should I eat? Maybe pasta. Or a sandwich. Okay, I'll make a sandwich. Good. Start doing this every day. Switch your inner voice to English, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. The sixth technique is a bit different. It's about catching yourself when you translate and stopping it. Here's what you do. When you notice yourself translating from your native language, stop, pause, and ask yourself, how can I say this in simple English? Don't force a perfect translation. Instead, simplify. Use the English words you already know, even if the sentence is very basic. For example, maybe you want to explain something complex in your language, but when you try to translate it, you get stuck. You don't know some words. So stop, simplify. Instead of translating that complex idea, think, what's the simple way to say this? Maybe you say, I want to explain something, but I don't know the words. Let me say it simply. This technique teaches your brain to work with the English you have instead of depending on translation. You become more creative, more flexible, and over time your English improves naturally. Let's practice right now. I'll give you a situation, and I'll show you what your inner dialogue could sound like. Situation. You're deciding what to wear. Your inner voice says, it's cold today. I need a jacket. Which jacket? The blue one. Okay, blue jacket. Now you try. Imagine you're deciding what to eat for lunch. Think in English. I'm hungry. What should I eat? Maybe pasta. Or a sandwich. Okay, I'll make a sandwich. Good. Start doing this every day. Switch your inner voice to English, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. The sixth technique is listening and repeating. This is about training your ear and your mouth at the same time. When you listen to English, whether it's podcasts, videos, or conversations, don't just listen passively. Repeat what you hear out loud, immediately. This technique is called shadowing. You follow the speaker like a shadow. You copy their words, their rhythm, their intonation, and your brain starts to internalize English patterns. The beautiful thing about shadowing is that you're not translating, you're just repeating. Your brain focuses on English sounds, English rhythm, English flow. This builds automatic responses. Over time, English comes out naturally, without thinking. Let's try it right now. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat after me. Copy my rhythm. Ready? English is getting easier every day. Repeat. English is getting easier every day. Good. Next one. I'm learning to think in English. Say it. I'm learning to think in English. Excellent. One more. Practice makes progress. Repeat. Practice makes progress. Perfect. Now, I want you to do this daily. Find an English podcast, video, or audiobook. Listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Your brain will start to absorb English naturally. The seventh and final technique is to surround yourself with English. Create an English environment in your daily life. Change your phone settings to English. Change your computer to English. Watch shows in English. Listen to music in English. Read simple books or articles in English. The more English you see and hear, the more your brain accepts it as normal. It stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling familiar. And when English is everywhere, your brain naturally starts thinking in English. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country to do this. You can create an English environment right where you are. For example, label objects in your home with English words. Put a sticky note on your mirror that says, mirror. Put one on your fridge that says, fridge. Every time you see these words, you're reinforcing the direct connection. English word to object. No translation. Also, follow English speakers on social media. Watch their videos. Read their posts. Engage with English content daily. The key is consistency. A little bit every day is better than a lot once a week. Make English a part of your daily routine. All right, now let's do a quick practice together. I'm going to give you some simple exercises to help you start thinking in English right now. Exercise 1. Simple words. I'll say an English word, and I want you to picture it in your mind. No translation, just the image. Book. Picture a book. See it. Say, book. Chair. Picture a chair. Say, chair. Water. Picture water. Say, water. Great. Exercise 2. Short sentences. I'll say a sentence about a daily action. You repeat it and imagine doing it. I'm drinking water. Repeat and visualize. I'm drinking water. I'm opening a window. Say it. I'm opening a window. I'm writing a message. Repeat. I'm writing a message. Excellent. Exercise 3. Daily thoughts. I'll describe a situation, and you think the response in English. Ready? You just woke up. What do you think? I'm awake. Time to get up. You're hungry. What do you think? I'm hungry. I need food. You finished a task. What do you think? I'm done. Good job. Perfect. These are small, simple practices, but if you do them every day, your brain will change. You'll start thinking in English without even trying. Now, I want to take a moment to talk to you directly. Learning English is not always easy. I know that. There are days when you feel frustrated, days when you make mistakes, days when you want to give up. But I want you to know something important. You are doing great. Every time you listen to this podcast, every time you practice, every time you try to use English, you are improving, even if you don't see it yet. Thinking in English doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. It's like building a muscle. At first, it feels hard, but the more you practice, the stronger you get. And one day, you'll realize you're doing it without even thinking about it. That's when you know you've succeeded. So please, be patient with yourself. Trust the process. Celebrate small wins. Every simple thought in English is a victory. Every sentence without translation is progress. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Practice a little bit every day. Use the techniques we talked about. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do this. You're learning step by step, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. All right, let's quickly recap what we talked about today. First, we learned why translation happens and why it slows down your fluency. Translation is a natural habit, but it creates extra steps in your brain. Then we talked about how the brain learns language naturally by creating direct connections between words and meanings, just like children do. After that, I gave you 7 powerful techniques to stop translating and start thinking in English. Number 1, start with simple thoughts. Think, I'm tired or I'm happy in English throughout your day. Number 2, think in pictures and feelings. Connect English words directly with images, not translations. Number 3, narrate your day in English. Describe your actions as you do them. Number 4, use English for your inner dialogue. Switch that voice in your head to English. Number 5, stop mid-translation and simplify. Use the English you already know. Number 6, listen and repeat daily. Practice shadowing to build automatic responses. And number 7, create an English environment. Surround yourself with English in your daily life. We also did some mini practice exercises to help you start thinking in English right now. And finally, I reminded you to be patient, stay consistent, and trust yourself. You're making progress every single day. So that's it for today's episode of the English Podcast Classroom. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you feel motivated and ready to start practicing. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Every small step counts. Every simple thought in English counts. You're training your brain, you're building new habits, and you're getting closer to fluency every day. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the English Podcast Classroom. We release new episodes regularly, and each one is designed to help you improve your English in practical, easy-to-follow ways. Also, I'd love to hear from you. What techniques are you going to try first? Do you already think in English sometimes? Share your experience. Your journey inspires other learners. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so proud of you for taking the time to learn and improve. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember, English is getting easier every day. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.